Thanks for being here. We are really glad to have you a part of this 1-year anniversary update. The Promise campaign, based on Acts 2:39, really is a multi-layer campaign. It has some construction projects that are attached to the Apopka campus. Is certainly one thing that we're doing, and we want to update you about that. There's also a component that is far off that goes to other places where we've helped build some facilities, and we want to talk to you about that as well. We also have our Mount Dora campus, and we want to update you about what's happening there. And what we did not know at this time last year is that there would be another campus this soon. And so we want to talk to you about the Lake Mary and the Seminole County campus as well, and kind of how that came about. Last year, we had an estimated project cost for the Promise campaign of $3.1 million. Now, let me qualify what that number represents. That number represents building out everything that the architect put together. It does not include the parking lot. We took that out pretty quickly, all right? After Collage put it out for bid, here's our new actual cost of the project, $2.28 million. Is that incredible or what? So I just thought that was just an awesome thing to share with you. What we have completed so far is the early childhood and those restrooms that are right out here. We're predicting that the student center is almost, I would say, 99% done. There's flooring down. It's been painted. I would say it's 99% done. So it's essentially done. And what will be done, maybe even as early as this week, will be the kitchen. The kitchen, again, it's another room that got right-sized. It got a large pantry that was added to the back side of the kitchen. It increased the square footage inside the kitchen. There'll be a long work island in the middle of it, some new equipment that we're working on getting that weren't originally a part of the project that we've trying to work into it. And so the kitchen may be done this week, and the showers will probably be done sometime in November. The showers I'm talking about are on the bathrooms in the back of the building on the north end of our property. All right, the Family Ministry Center is scheduled to be done in April of 2016. The atrium will be the last thing to be done, so there'll be new flooring that will be put in the atrium, so that carpet that is so stained and so beat up and so worn, it will be gone. The parent zone that Pastor Ryan's going to come up in just a moment, he's going to talk to you about some concepts of the parent zone, what that's going to look like. The storage room right now that divides the student center from the atrium that actually kids are walking through right now because you can't go down the hallway, that storage room will all be knocked out, and that will become a part of the atrium. And so that will make it feel so much more open. And so now Pastor Ryan's going to come and talk to you about an environment that we are seeking to create in these new children areas.
We wanted to pull some numbers of our attendance from when before the construction started, while we were in the construction phase, and then since it's been completed, because we wanted to see if really increasing these classroom sizes are drawing additional families and additional children into the facility. From the beginning of the year, January 3rd, up until May 31st, that was the weekend prior to construction starting, we saw an average attendance in early childhood and elementary of 310 per weekend. During construction, it started that first weekend in June 6th, and it ran until the second weekend in August. We took a dip. We went down to about 281. But here's the number that we're excited to see so far. From the first weekend that we opened our new classrooms on August 15th, up until last weekend of October 11th, we've seen an increase of 18% from before we started the construction. Isn't that awesome? 18%. We can't just give children spaces and give families spaces to come into to hear the message of Jesus preached. We have to create an environment for them. So we started looking into this. We started researching companies to find out maybe there's agencies and organizations around that can help us with this, create a really fun and exciting environment for our kids. And so we started doing some digging, and we came up with an organization that is called Worlds of Wow. Just to show you some of the things that Worlds of Wow has done, we pulled a couple pictures off of their websites. These are from other churches around the country that they've worked with. And as you can see, they do an amazing job in creating these environments that when kids walk into, it's welcoming and it's inviting, and it makes kids excited about learning about Jesus. I want to show you the first picture here of a concept for our parent zone. But what we have is we have a couple check-in stations here and a couple check-in stations over on this side. This is an African landscape mural that's on this entire wall. So these are kind of the three entrances. This is the arch door right here where you've just walked through from the atrium, and this is kind of what you would see behind you, and these are the walls that you were looking at before. And this theming is going to carry over from in the parent zone, and it's going to spill out here. Signage is going to be huge for us. One of the things we want to make sure we do, any visitors that come into the church, we want them to be just as invited by the environment, but we want clear signage so they know where to go. And on average, Worlds of Wow told us that in the first year, after completing a project where they go in and they theme and create an environment, within the first year, they see an increase. This is an average increase in children's attendance of 23% in the first year after theming a church. So what that would equate to here at Journey is an increase of 84 additional children. Space and environment is everything, but if we don't have the adults committed to teach, the rooms could sit empty and nothing happens. So we need you. We need you. We need you.
To move along quickly here, the Promise projects that we're doing are not just for this campus. We've talked about that from the beginning, that we wanted to reach those that are far off. The first $30,000 went to Guatemala, and it went to building a church in Castulo, which is on the river. Let's go through some of the pictures that money has done. You can see that's the building at Castulo, and go through another one that's kind of the area. Sets up on a hill. Ryan and the team were there to help work on that. And then we took $30,000 more this year as we hit the $750,000 and $1 million mark in funds received, and we built a second building. And let's take a look at that. And this one is in the mountain region. This is as primitive as it comes. This is in an area called Volcan. And if Michael and Rocky were here, they could talk for an hour about the story of Volcan and the miracles that God has done there and the people that have come to Christ. So last summer as well, we took a $5,000 gift that we wanted to give to our church partner in Kazakhstan, our mission partner in Kazakhstan, which is called the Lighthouse. And so we gave $5,000, and when we gave $5,000, another one of our Journey members said, I want to give an additional $5,000. So our $5,000 then became $10,000. And so $10,000 went to Almaty, Kazakhstan, to remodel the lighthouse. So let's take a look at some of those pictures. That's Pastor Randy right in the middle, as you can see. And that's an older picture, but we just wanted to kind of show you the structure of what the building looks like. Now let's take a look at some of the remodeling that's been going on. Now remember, as you kind of look through these pictures, the purpose of the remodeling is to be able to adapt it for younger children. It's been a home that has had older kids in it. So teenage children that have aged out of the foster system. That's what the house was originally bought for and used for. But now they're retrofitting and remodeling it to be able to bring in younger children. All right, let me jump to something else that's not necessarily related to the Promise projects that we talked about last year, but this is one of those things where God just kind of surprises us. All right? And this is one of those things where we just kind of say, okay, Lord, thank you. And this just came about in the last couple months. So Roddy and I, Pastor Roddy Connor, our executive pastor, and myself, we go see our one of our county commissioners, Brian Nelson. And Brian is a county commissioner we are in his district. And so we said to Commissioner Nelson, we said, we have about 30 acres of property. And the master plan for our property is we're doing some of it right now, but we have more land that we'd like to see utilized. And one of the ideas that we had is we have some land that we'd like to see a park put on it. Would you have any interest in having some land to put a park? And he said, I think in our district, everything is pretty well. We have parks that represent everything well. He said, now Lockhart. He said, are you close to Lockhart? I said, yeah, we're not far away. He said, that we've been trying to do something to help them out. He said, I tell you where there's some money. He said, and that is for an all-inclusive park. So it would be a park not just for able-bodied kids, but those who have disabilities, where equipment would be able to be used by both. And so about 2 weeks later, we get a phone call from a man at Orange County Parks and Recreation. And he said, I've been by your property. I'd like to meet with you. And so he comes by and he meets with Roddy and I. And he says, I need 2 acres minimum. We said we have about 2.5 acres. Now let me show you the land that we're talking about. Go ahead and bring that up. This is the Boy Scout. This is the paved parking lot, of course, the Journey lot. We're talking about this land right here. To be honest with you, that land is not usable land. It's not usable for us. We're not going to build on it. The sand is really soft. It's not even good to park on it. And it's almost 3 acres. It's about 2 acres and 2 3/4 acres right here. And so he said, I'm gonna submit this to Commissioner Nelson and to my board. And we just got notice that they're going to put a park. A park has been preliminarily approved for this land right here, for Orange County Parks. It works in that we lease them the land for 20 years. We essentially give them the land. That was the idea. My idea was not to sell the land. The idea was to lease land. So with the blessing of our elders, I'm not doing this, just on my own. I told the elders about this concept. They said, it's great. So 2 acres of property or 2 3/4 acres of property, we would lease to them for roughly a $10 lump sum. So it's not $1 a year lease. It's $10 for 20 years. Orange County, that will become their land, leased land, and they will put all the equipment on it. And they have budgeted to put $500,000 into that park. Wow is right. How would you even put $500,000 into that? I'm not even sure. But we've not seen any drawings on that right now, but we're talking about walking trails. We're talking about probably restroom facilities. We're talking about, again, equipment that will be used for all kids. It's called an all-inclusive park. All right, very good. Now let's talk a little bit about what is going on with some of our campuses. Well, right now, with the only campus that we have is Mount Dora, and we want to talk a little bit about that, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what's beyond that. So Pastor Joel, would you welcome Pastor Joel Craig? And he'll come up.
Today was our last Sunday in the high school, and next Sunday will be our first Sunday in the Seventh-day Adventist building. So we are super excited about that. It's going to be an incredible opportunity for us. The room is more right-sized for our congregation, so we're not going to be roping off anything. Everything's going to be under one roof, so all of our children's ministry will be able to do everything that we've been doing and more. So we're excited to do that and be partnered with that church as well. So in the midst of us looking for other facilities, we started looking at some potential land that we could purchase for our congregation out there that would in the future hold a standalone building that would be ours alone, that we wouldn't be renting anymore. And so we are under contract right now with a piece of property right on 441. We do have some pictures of that. Right on 441, as you are heading up to Mount Dora, it's over on your right. If you go to the next one, it kind of looks like a Christmas tree farm right now. As you're driving up, right across from Vincent's Italian restaurant, if you've been up there at all, there is 7.4 acres of land that is essentially ours right now. God has opened up those doors. Yeah. The Seventh-day Adventist Church is just a stopping point for our congregation. And then once we figure out that we can do all of what we want to do on this property, we will begin building and looking at what that could be here in the very near future.
And so one of the things that we wanted to see happen was to begin another campus in Lake Mary, Heathrow, Seminole County. And Harvey and his congregation in particular were very interested in being a part of that. And so we have some exciting updates. So we want to tell you about that. So Harvey, tell them about that.
I certainly will. Well, it's been a year of transitions for myself and for LifeSpring Christian Church. We are more than thrilled to be a part of Journey and the whole experience. And we're looking forward to all that brings to us and to you. So we were out looking at some places, and we decided to make really a cold call on a location that we thought, well, this might be an opportunity. We've got a little extra time. Let's stop in. Let's see what's happening. So we drove to this school called Lake Mary Preparatory School. It's really a private academy. And as it turns out, they're interested in having us come and meet in that location on a regular basis. And it's probably the nicest location of all the locations that we've looked at in Seminole County. It's right in the heart of Seminole County. That's the entrance to the school, and goes straight in those doors there, and there's a nice lobby. It's tiled and very well maintained. It's high tech, and you can't continue to go straight, and you go right into the gymnasium. So here's the location. It's off of. It's actually on the road. The road's called Rantoul. But the way you get to Rantoul is you go down Lake Mary Boulevard, you turn left on Country Club Road, follow Country Club Road up, and as the road begins to veer to the right, you just go straight, becomes Rantoul, and you just you go down there. It's on the left. So if you want to if you know where that's at, or you want to drive by and take a look, you'll be pretty impressed with the location. We're looking at a February launch date. We're looking at the 7th, which is the first Sunday of February. We feel like that gives us a little time to plan and prepare for what's necessary in order to launch the church. We can use all the prayer that you can offer for us, and we're excited about what God is doing in the future.
All right, thanks, Harvey. All right, let's wrap it up by kind of giving you just an overview of where we are financially in the Promise campaign. The Promise giving period started in November 2014. And it is a 2-year campaign. Really, it's a 26-month campaign. So from November 1st, 2014 through September 30th, 2015, on a 26-month campaign, we're 42% completed. You follow that? So the Promise pledges that were made in November of 2014 was $1,869,387. All right? So that was the pledges that were made in 2014, and consistently when we've shown you updates, that's the number that we've shown you. So let's look at the giving for that period of time. From November through the end of September, $844,200 of that 1/8 pledges has been received. So the campaign is 42% done, but 45% of the pledges, meaning we're 3% ahead. So I think that's pretty good. All right? So 45% of the pledges have been received as of the end of September. There's a very important number that's going to come up next, and that is non-pledge giving. And this is money that's been given without a commitment card turned in. $216,000 has been received in non-pledge giving. That's a significant amount of money. So you put those two numbers together, and here we are. Total giving as at the end of September 30th was $1,060,419 is the total amount that we've received. All right? Now hang with me. This is a very important slide I want to explain a little bit, and we're close to being done. Take a look at the next slide. All right, so you can kind of see where we started, November 14th, where we're going to end on December the 16th. The total project cost we showed you earlier was $2.28 million. All right, that's the total project cost. So 42% of the campaign in terms of duration has been completed, but we've received 46.5%, so we've received 4.5% more in cash than above the duration period here. Am I making sense to you? Yeah. What I'm telling you is that's a good thing. Yes. All right. So we have $1.2 million roughly to get to the completion of $2.29 million. I think we had a lot of exciting things to share here tonight. Did you agree to that? I think we have a lot of things that were really important. The last thing I want to show you is we told you that what we intended to do was not only to build this building, but to do it debt-free with the funds that are coming in. We're in good shape, as I said, that can happen. And we also said we're going to continue to pay down debt. Last year when the Promise campaign started, that was our debt, $3.3 million. As of right now, we've paid off $400,000 more, $461,000 to be exact, or $460,000, or yes, right? And you can see that that's where we are right now. $2.9 million is our debt. Currently, we pay off every week, and at the end of 2016, it'll be there, and by 2019, we're going to erase that debt completely. And that will be exciting, exciting stuff. So, not only are we seeing God bless in our giving and for the promise, but we also continue to see debt paid down here at our Apopka campus, and we're just excited about what God's doing.